I know probably a lot of people already appreciate the fact that it's important to create parent-friendly workplaces, but I would still want you to tell us, why is this really important?
Yes, because many women start breastfeeding. Actually, most women have the ambition to start breastfeeding, and they actually do. And we know that because the breastfeeding rates in the afterbirth upon discharge from the hospital are quite high. And then what happens is that depending on the duration of their maternity leave or parental leave, they will go back to work after X number of months, usually around 3 to 4 months. And what happens there then, if the maternity or parental leave is too short, like in some countries you only have maybe up to 2 months or 3 months, they have to go back and they want to continue breastfeeding, but they actually can't if they don't have, having a parent-friendly or breastfeeding-friendly workplace can help for them to continue breastfeeding exclusively to 6 months and continue breastfeeding after that as well. That is why it's so important with the parent-friendly and breastfeeding-friendly workplace.
So the formal sector has, we could say, it could have more structures that enables this to be organized, but the informal sector seems to be quite left behind in many countries across the world. What can we do to focus more on the informal sector?
Yes, like you said, that they left behind the informal sector because many of these policies and legislation often don't cover women's and parents working in the precarious work conditions. And of course, this is one of the things, the challenges, that the informal sector is very large. It's growing all around the world, especially in low and middle income countries. The conditions of work are also very difficult. They may be working far away from their home, and therefore they'll be separated for a long, long time from their baby. And there may be dangerous work environments, where there are, if it's in the agricultural sector, pesticides. There could be, all sorts of conditions that are not optimal. And so what we have to try to advocate for is that what are the small practical steps that you can take. And for example, women who are pregnant and or breastfeeding should be able to rearrange their tasks so that during this time when they are breastfeeding, for example, that they are not working they can be shifted to a closer to, so task shifting and rearranging also the working hours to accommodate the mother and baby dyad. And providing, for example, mobile creches or on-site creches where the babies can be taken care of near the workplace. Having shelters so that the mother and baby can be, they're not out under the sun. And there are many examples, like, for example, in India, where they've had mobile creches, and these can actually move with the mother, the worker, and so on. So that's the kind of those are the kind of ways that we know about that work. Also, but in a more long term. In the more long term, I would say that what we have to do is to actually organize the informal sector and to work with trade unions and associations of informal workers to organize them, because collectively they can call for and demand for their rights that they actually have. Then it's just one individual here and there. So that will be very important. And also to expand the scope of legislation and policies national policies, that they are actually given, for example, cash transfers to be able to, for the financial stability, also to include them in the policies and legislation. So, for example, the ILO Maternity Protection Convention, this C183, it actually does expand the scope to women workers in the informal sector, but the implementation of that is usually what is difficult.